And last but not least, you want your corn knee-high by July? Better get to plant, boys.
I make my living off the land.
This corn's beautiful.
With aching back and calloused hand.
A lot of things got to go right yet.
The old man said you reap what you sow.
This could be some pretty phenomenal numbers.
Out here in these fields of gold.
Why it's called yellow gold.
I work harder, work harder. I get the job done, yeah, I'm a farmer. I don't back down no matter what comes my way.
Crazy year, right?
I'm an early riser, an all-nighter. Call me plowboy, yeah, I'm a fighter. Ain't gonna stop till they put me in my grave.
It's gonna be a fun year.
I'm a warrior. I'm a warrior.
This episode presented by Pivot Bio.
So today is June the 7th, 2020. Trying to finish up on corn. You know, it's not been ideal conditions. You know, if this would be April or May, we probably wouldn't be planting right now. But, you know, it is June. The problem is we're already super saturated, so it's either plant now and have a little luck on your side, miss some of it, or wait and get another inch, inch and a quarter, inch and a half, and be out for another week, week and a half. So as a whole farm on the corn, we're behind growth. We got another month to worry about where the floods could get us yet. All right, I think what we're gonna do, Seth, we're gonna fold up, jump over, knock that field out, and then finish up here. I just hate that every field I gotta fold up. A pain in the ass. At least I think I got to. I don't think it's wide enough. No, it's not. You had one of them 2140s or 2145s where you got the center pivot, you wouldn't have to fold up. All the weight goes on them center four wheels. You can drive right across it then, but the damn thing never beeped all day. Got a sensor out. I don't know what happened back here when I stopped in that little piece over there. It showed another sensor that's bad. What the hell? I see what's that. I see it now. Huh. Well, how does that go on? We may just tie it up here and let it dribble down. Maybe what we have to do to finish up here. I think this will work. So now we're just going to dribble it on top of the ground. About all we can do. We adapt, improvise, and overcome. Well, we know the 2x2 was working. Yep, it's squirting. Now I'm changing my cleaners to get my cleaners down a little bit more to knock them dirt clods out of the way. It don't like them slow passes going through them ditches. See any corn coming up over there on that hill, that mountain over there? Get up here a little bit further, the rows should be going uphill. That's what kills me when I see guys pulling 24-row planters with a tractor this size. I'm like, not in my neck of the woods, boys. You're going to. We'll average about 20 acres an hour all day, and that's with fill-ups and all that. It depends on, you know, how much rate of fertilizers, because that's our limiting factor. We should have put a little bit bigger friction tubes on our planter, because that's our limiting factor now. When we start pumping a lot of fluid through it, the tubes that we build up too much pressure because we got too small of tubes in it. I think Brooks has got a real good shot. Sitting there not thinking that, you know, he's only like an hour, a little over an hour from us. Put it this way, every time we get a rain, we would be at least 2 days behind him of being able to get back out into the field. What that tells me is that he's not getting hurt with the wet weather quite as bad as we are. Now, am I riding us out? No. If he don't win it, he'll have the biggest improvement, I bet. You've seen his tissue samples look good. You know, he's gonna cool that corn this summer. He's gonna be tough to beat. You know, if we can't win it, you know, I'd like to see Brooks win it. You know, that's what we're after here, I think, on the show, to have good guys with that people can like. Just as long as they don't beat me, I don't care. They can be good guys. But I hate to tell them that beating us old dogs in this CornWarriors is not going to be an easy task for them. I'm just telling them. It's not that it's 3 against 3, but you know, you kind of don't want the young ones to whip your butt. You know, I feel like Michael Jordan when he's in the retirement. You know, them young guys come in, think they're going to whoop him, and you know, Jordan has to lay the smack down on them. You know, not that we're really considering we're Michael Jordan, but we're more like Dennis Rodman, I guess.
This year's been a challenging year for farming and a lot of major rainfall events. We were about a month behind on planting. We made it through that, and then it rained a whole bunch more on top of that. We had significant nitrogen losses this year, probably more so than we've ever seen in the past. We saw greater than a 30 bushel per acre response with the Pivot Bio Proven product. It really showed up this year.
Pivot Bio Proven, the nitrogen that stays put, whether or not.
Welcome back to Cardinal Farms. It's May 15th. We planted this field May 2nd. Tomorrow will be 2 weeks since we've planted it. We're out here checking the emergence, and we're liking what we're seeing so far. Not perfect, but a lot better than what we've seen in a couple years. This is definitely going to be one that we could push a little bit. Yeah, even emergence is #1 key. You know, the most important day is when the planter pulls into the field. That's where it all starts. You want them all to be a bunch of clones, all the same size, just that way they're growing even all throughout the year. Got Nikki and Dallas out here. We wouldn't be where we're at today without these two. They've been a huge help. If there's anything good about the coronavirus going on, it's that with the school being out, I've gained more help. Made it that much more special doing this in such a rough time.
It's been real crazy. Been working at the school, and then you leave on Friday and think you're gonna be out for maybe a week, and then you're out for 3 months.
I mean, as far as us on the farm, it's really not been that different, just because we've been so busy and we're just doing what we do every day. You know, we're out away from everybody, and it ain't like we're doing a lot different. Honestly, I couldn't even tell you what was shut down and when it shut down. Just the only thing is our parts stores, instead of going in and getting your parts, they drop them outside for us. The liquor stores are still open, so we go in and get our Tito's and go back to work.
Yeah, it's better than school, but you still gotta do it online. I'm trying to accomplish it. It's getting there.
That's been a task. He's been on the farm so much, and then trying to get the e-learning done, because I mean, he's coming out first thing in the morning and working till late, and getting it all rolled up, that's been a task for
if it's anybody's fault that he don't have assignments done. I guess it's my fault because I've had him busy.
We've already been out to check crops this morning and checked pretty much all the fields and got out and looked at the emergence, and we're waiting on it to dry out a little bit so we can start again.
Okay, so this field here, we got some manure on it, some turkey litter, and it's actually from Dubois County, from over there at Kevin's. So hopefully that'll push us a few more bushels. We're fortunate to have used the 360 waves on our planter when planting this field, and we're liking what we're seeing. We've been running some starter fertilizer, and just watching that radical root since that fertilizer has been interesting. So I thought we'd dig one here and see if we can actually see it. So that radical is growing, and once them roots hit that fertilize, they would explode. And you know, this is a good example of the plant. You can tell this one here, this is a leaf behind, right here. That's where your even emergence is so important. This root system on this plant is so much healthier, so much bigger, because he got out of the ground first, and this one here's struggling to keep up. We're just finally getting some heat, and this corn is awful yellow, and it's just nice to see some color start to come back towards it. This ain't a high yielding field. It's just a regular commercial field. We do have a pivot on it. You know, it's 18 acres here, so let's try to plant this field early and see what we can get. I still think we did the right thing waiting. Hopefully this is going to help us confirm that at the end of the year. Yeah, let's head back to the corn planter. Let's go plant some corn. This next field I'm going to plant is going to be a contest field, or attempt for it to be the contest field, and this is a different variety, so I'm just cleaning the bulk bin out. Change hybrids. This year I just hope we have some drier weather. I'm just looking forward to be able to control the crop a little more. Seemed like last year Mother Nature controlled it, and everything I tried got wiped out by rain, so it'd just be nice to be able to stick more to our plan. It's not easy, you just gotta keep fighting. This year I'm still saying that 400, working with Kevin, and we joined the MAC group, and I mean, just what we've learned there, we're pumped. All starts today. Kicks, come here.
Yeah, Kicks helps out a little bit on the farm, but when you don't listen, you can't really do much.
You're all right. He's all right. Okay, get down.
Rowdy, and that's Mama Dog.
This has kind of been the typical part of our spring this year. You know, we've not been bombarded with, you know, the typical last 3 or 4 years, 5-6 inch rains at a time. But it seems like every time we plant a field or get a day or two of planting, we turn around and get a 1.5 to 2 inch rain before the corn gets out of the ground. So we're sitting here looking, you know, fairly good spacing here. Looks like pretty even emergence through here. This was planted Wednesday, so 4 days. But this field here has been a field that's been no-tilled now for the last, I guess, 5 or 6 years. But it looks pretty good. You know, just walking around, it don't look too bad. It's definitely not as good as what we wanted. This field here, which this will be a no-till contest, this here was planted at 38,000, I believe. We'll do a quick stand count here. 2, 3, 14, 15, 16 steps, which is about, my 16 steps is about 17.5 feet. That's what 17 feet 5 inches is what you want. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 6, 37, 39. Ooh, there's 40 here. That Case IH planter is so awesome, it actually plants more than what we planted. You know, there's 40 plants here that's out of the ground on our 17.5 feet. And as what I could see, we only have one of them. Yeah, this one right here, out of the 40,000, is what I would call 10 GDUs behind or more. So out of 40, that's pretty darn good. Rylan, can we dig some up here? We'll dig this one here up. So we really don't have the tool. Just need a little bit bigger knife here. It's got a pretty darn good little root system on him for 4 days. Tore some off, so this is 4 days. So we tore some of it off, but 4 days after planting, you can see starting to get a lot of fibrous there. As you can see, the corn plant was sitting in like that. It's already reaching and going over to get our 2x2 band fertilizer there. So not bad looking set of roots for 4 days. About every day and a half, the root mass will about double. So our band's right here where our fertility is, heading that way. Both of them's heading that way to the fertility. So that is why it's so important to band your fertilizer, because it does sense where your fertility's coming from. That could be the winning ear. We don't want to lose that. I might need that to beat Brooks, so we better put him back. So I'm telling you, for 4 days, the roots look pretty good. I mean, 4 days, how many other guys have you been out to that the corn is that big in 4 days?
We did have a dog named Rowdy. She was 16 years old. She died last fall, I believe. She was a good dog. So yeah, it all started with our rowdy pile. We got our first rowdy pile this year on some turkey litter, and we spread a couple fields, and interesting to see how that works out. We're excited about that. I'm scared to death on corn. We've actually switched quite a few acres into beans because the demand on corn, it just don't look promising, especially, you know, with all these ethanol plants shutting down, the way gas price is, it's cheap, the livestock market, and that's all corn demand. I meant to ask Kevin about it, how he is on his turkeys, but I hear they're slowing the production of turkeys down. Well, most of our corn gets sold to JFS, you know, to make turkey feed. You know, that's going to affect us on our corn market here. It's all expensive. These darn inputs is what's hard to swallow. You know, when we're looking at ROI, corn just is not penciling out. So we're kind of having to pull back a little bit, some of these inputs, and it's just tough. We need bushels now more than ever. You just really, really got to watch what you put in this crop. Really focusing on placement of all products this year between the strip tilling with the Soil Warrior. We're wide dropping. Our normal practice would have been ripping this and then maybe a field cultivator pass, possibly 2 field cultivator passes. Well, just after that ripper, the whole field is so soft, so mellow. And every tractor pass in, you can see them compaction lines. Well, I'm hoping we don't see any of that, and I don't think we will. We're not seeing it near as bad this year. It's staying up better, and I don't know, just a lot better seed bed.
He's out there planting, trying to catch up corn. I think we're about done with beans. When I used to do it, we wouldn't plant beans till May 1. And now everyone plants beans first, then the corn second. Just totally different than what it used to be. Brooke's been holding off on this corn because he wants it, once they hit that ground, it takes off. I used to work on everything we had, you know, overhaul motors, transmission, and everything. And now we can't hardly do nothing. It's just your electronic stuff.
We've been attending the MAC meetings. It's just good to get involved in them. Just the networking between the other farmers in there. You gain friends and relationships, and Kevin is a great guy. He's a great teacher. You know, he's in the same growing area as us. So yes, we got different soils, but we're getting the same weather. And that means a lot right there to me. The main thing we're doing this year, besides the strip till, we're just doing more wide dropping. We're running a Haggie this year. We're gonna do a lot of later season wide dropping. and we're actually going to cut the fertigating out and run that through the Y drops. We know what we're getting on. It's just sometimes it's hard to manage, you know, the rates and everything on them irrigations. And I don't know, I just think we can do a better job with the Y drops. We're trying Pivot Bio this year. First year, we didn't get to try it last year. We're gonna do some side-by-sides with it, see how that works out. I'm gonna try it on some irrigated ground, some higher management stuff, and, you know, just on some clay ground, just kind of see the difference. So and while we got the Haggie, we'll do all our fungicide, of course, with the Haggie. I've heard about the new show Podfather. I think that's going to be really neat. You know, we've been learning more and more about soybeans. You know, it seems like everybody focused on pushing this corn and getting high yielding corn. Well, you know, I think we should have been working with soybeans at the same time. I mean, I think there's a lot of times there's more profit in the beans. So it'll be interesting to see. I know a few of them guys. I've been down to Perry Galloway's farm. He's a great guy, got an awesome operation down there. Really smart guy. I really think a lot of him. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun to watch. So yeah, it ain't gonna be the same this year without King David. We're sure gonna miss him. I've learned a lot from him. You know, I learned a lot from him all 3 years, you know, even last year watching the show. And so yeah, it's a bummer. Definitely going to miss him and wish him the best, and hopefully to see him back. And then Matt Swanson, got to know Matt, talked to him a couple times at the Commodity Classic, and great guy, and going to miss seeing him this year. But hopefully get to see him again in the future. Learned a lot from all them guys. Don't know any of the new guys. I'm sure I'll be learning more about them this year and hopefully get to meet all them guys, but sounds like they're on their game and they do a great job, so I wish them all well. It's gonna be a fun year. With all this hard work that we've put in it, I just hope I don't let everybody down. I hope we can throw a good number, hope we can make some money. That's my biggest fear. The way everything's looking, it's gonna be a tight market, and I really do hope we can get 400 bushel. I think it's possible. I said it last year and we weren't very close to it, but I still think it's possible, so we're gonna shoot for it again. Not backing down. Yep, coming for the crown.